بسم الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر الله أكبر. الله أكبر. لا أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الله أكبر. لا أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. سيدنا محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. لما دعوة تامة والصلاة القيمة وآتي محمد الوسيلة الفضيلة ودرجة رفيعة وأبعثه مقام محمود الذي وجهه إنك لا تخلف الميعاد. آمين.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده سبحانه وتعالى ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ به من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له. ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ونشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وعلى أصحابه ومن اتبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما وقال الله سبحانه وتعالى في قرآنه المجيد قل اللهم مالك الملك تؤتي الملك من تشاء وتنزع الملك ممن تشاء وتذل من تشاء وتعز من تشاء وتذل من تشاء بيدك الخير إنك على كل شيء قدير. Adúpẹ́ fún Ọlọ́run. Ṣe ìfànàbí wa Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ọpẹ́ wa tí a dá Ọlọ́run gbà sáyé ọpẹ́ fún wa. Ẹ̀rọ máa dúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run náà ni. Choice a dúpẹ́ fún náà ni. Tó bá ṣoore fún wa, a dúpẹ́ fún. Tó bá ṣe ìtàlérò pé kì í ṣoore tó sì já sí pé oore ni lọ́dọ̀ tiẹ̀, a dúpẹ́ fún náà ni. A dúpẹ́ fún tí ó ṣọ́ wa kúrò níbí yìí níjẹ̀ ẹjọ́ tó tún ní kí a pàdé lónìí láyọ̀ àti lálàáfíà. A dúpẹ́ fún Ọlọ́run. A dúpẹ́ fún tó tún ní ká rí jímà tòní. Èyí tá kí lónìí Ọlọ́run má ṣe lákìmọ̀ fún wa. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ àkí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ẹ̀ láyé. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ àkí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ẹ̀ láàyè. Kí Ọlọ́run ọba aláàánú kó wá gbà lẹ́sìn fún wa. Kó má kọ̀lé wa lọ́wọ́. Aṣẹ́yìn bá nàbí wa Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ọlọ́run kí ó bá wa kẹ́, kó bá wa ṣàlékún ìgẹ̀ fún, kó bá wa kẹ́ àwọn ará ilé ẹ̀, kó bá wa kẹ́ àwọn sàhábà ẹ̀, kó bá wa kẹ́ gbogbo àwọn tó ń tẹ̀lé ìkan àwa náà títí fi di ọjọ́ gbẹ̀ǹdẹ̀. Lónìí, a fẹ́ bára wa sọ àwọn òótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ kan. Nígbà tí a ti ké áyà tá fi bẹ̀rẹ̀, àwa tí a ti gbọ́ wáàsí, tá ti ń gbọ́ wáàsí tó ti pẹ́, a ti mọ ibi tí áyà yìí ń lọ. A sì ti mọ ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ń lù wa. So, Ọlọ́run ọba àlékeọlá ó sọ nínú ìwé ẹ̀ tó máa, ó sọ fún jíṣẹ́ ńlá Muhammad, ó ní kúlìláhùnmá wa nábì sọ wípé sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ fún wa, Allahumma ìwọ ọba mi máàlíkàl mulki, ọlá àwọn ọlá, ọba àwọn ọba, ọba gbére, ọba láéláyé. Allahu Akbar. Máàlíkàl mulki, ọba tí ó ń jọba lérí àwọn ọba. Nínú ìjọba ẹ̀, tu'til mulka man tasha, ẹni tó bá wù ni ó pín nínú ọlá nínú ìjọba. Ẹni tó bá wù, kì í ṣagbára ẹnìkan. Wa tanzi'ul mulka mimman tasha, ẹni tó bá wù ó máa strip away from him ìjẹ́ ìjọba, ó máa gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Ẹ gbọ́, wa tanzi'ul mulka mimman tasha, tó bá wù yóò gba ìjọba lọ́wọ́ ẹni tó bá wù. Wa tu'izzu man tasha, ẹni tó bá wù yóò dá aládé ọlá, yóò gbé ga. Wa tudhillu man tasha, wallahi ẹni tó bá wù yóò rí ẹlẹ́. Biyadikal khayr, ọwọ́ Ọlọ́run ọba lọ rí wà o. Innaka ala kulli shay'in qadir. Nítorí pé ìwọ ọba tó já sí wípé kò sí nǹkan tó tiẹ̀ láti ṣe, gbogbo nǹkan ó wà lábẹ́ ìkápá ẹ̀. Àwa náà ti rí ohun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wa ní ìjẹta, kàkópe ní ìjẹta. Ọlọ́run ọba ọlọ́lá, nígbà tí kinní yìí bẹ̀rẹ̀ 8 years ago àwọn ò pé kò ní ṣe é ṣe àdáni iṣẹ́ ni tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí ọlọ́run sì níbi tóun fẹ́ gbọ́lá sí nìyẹn tá a bá mọ̀ túmọ̀ àyà yìí láti jọ́ tí wọ́n ti ń ké fún wa ẹ jẹ́ akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àyà tá à ń ké yìí tá a bá mọ̀ túmọ̀ ẹ̀ láti jọ́ yìí ṣèkù tí wáyé wa báyìí ó wá ní wọ̀tẹ́ǹzẹ̀ olùmúrúkà mi máa ń tàṣà ẹni tó bá wù òun ó gbọ́ ọlá lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ọlọ́run sì gbà ó gbà 4 years ago àbí ó gbà kó lè fi hàn wá pé òun lòun gbé ọlá fẹ́ni tí ó bá wù òun ó tún dá padà nínú títóbi ẹ̀ nínú ńláńlá ẹ̀ wọ́n tó ẹ̀zù máa ń tàṣà ọlẹ́ni tó bá wù òun lòun ṣe yìí fún òdèládé ọba wọ́n tó zílù máa ń tàṣà ó tún rẹ̀ ńlẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ di pé táwa gba bí yìí lónìí ọ̀rọ̀ kọ́ọ̀tì là ń sọ nígbà tó yá ó ní bẹ́ẹ̀ bá tún dá mi mọ̀ kò sí ohun tí mi ò lè ṣe ó tún dá padà fún innaka ala kulli shay'in qadir òun lọ́ba tó kápá gbogbo nǹkan. Now we know already what happened. And then what next? Number one, we need to learn our lesson from this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, ما أصاب من مصيبة في الأرض ولا في أنفسكم إلا في كتاب من قبل أن نبرأها إن ذلك على الله يسير لكي لا تأسوا على ما فاتكم ولا تفرحوا بما آتاكم والله لا يحب كل مختال فخور. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, ما أصاب من مصيبة, there is no calamity that could happen to you في الأرض, on the earth, ولا في أنفسكم, there is no calamity that could happen to you as a human being إلا في كتاب, except that it is been written in the book من قبل أن نبرأها, before it happened at all, it has been written in the book. Inna dhalika ala Allah yasir. It's so easy for Allah to do. Allah said, I'm telling you, there is no calamity that could happen to you except that it's been written, likay la taksaw ala ma fatakum, so that you don't get too much answers on what you have lost. Likay la taksaw ala ma fatakum. You don't complain too much on what you have lost because it's been written by Allah. وَلَا تَفْرَحُوا بِمَا آتَاكُمْ, and then you don't be too joyful of what I've offered you. For those who feel like we have lost, Allah said, لِكَيْ لَا تَحْسَوْا بِمَا فَاتَكُمْ. Don't complain too much because in the knowledge of Allah. And for those who fail, that yes, we got the power. وَلَا تَفْرَحُوا بِمَا آتَاكُمْ, and don't be too happy, don't be too joyful on what we have offered you. وَاللَّهُ لَا يُحِبُّ كُلَّ مُخْتَالٍ فَخُورٍ. Allah does not like arrogant and who do joy overboard. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said in Quran, we all want you to understand that everything in the knowledge of Allah. What we see as bad could be good to us, could be good for us. What we see as good may be bad for us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Quran, Asa an tuhibbu shay'an wa huwa sharrun lakum. وعسى أن تكرهوا شيئا وهو خير لكم والله يعلم وأنتم لا تعلمون. عسى أن تحبوا شيئا, you may want something You may want something. But what you want is bad for you, but you don't know. You may say no to something. You may refuse something. You may hate something. But what you hate, what you dislike, it may be good for you. Because Allah knows. You human being, you don't know. Allah in another ayah, he said, وَعَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُوا شَيْئًا وَيَجْعَلَ اللَّهُ فِيهِ خَيْرًا كَثِيرًا. Allah said, وَعَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُوا شَيْئًا, and maybe أَن تَكْرَهُوا شَيْئًا, you dislike something. وَيَجْعَلَ اللَّهُ فِيهِ, but Allah would put خَيْرًا كَثِيرًا, a very big goodness, a lot of goodness into that thing that you dislike. You don't know. So don't be too sad on what had happened to us or what we think had happened to us. Let me put it that way. Because what we may see as bad may be good for us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in another ayah, he said, Prophet Muhammad, tell them, Qul la yusibana illa ma kataballahu lana huwa maulana wa ala Allahi falyatawakkalil mu'minun. Allah said, oh Muhammad, say, la yusibana, nothing will affect us. Nothing will happen to us. Illa ma kataballahu lana, except what you have decreed on us. Huwa maulana, is our Lord. Wa ala Allahi falyatawakkalil mu'minun. A believer should rely upon Allah. Please, let's all rely on Allah. Let's have our faith straight. What we are fearing is just a human being. So Allah said in another ayah, in Surah Al-Baqarah, he said there are people, they fear Allah, or they fear human beings more than they fear Allah. Subhanallah. We are believers. Don't let us get to that level. Let's all rely on Allah. Let's understand that Allah is capable of everything. He is in the control of everything. I know people are very anxious. People are scared. Truly scared. We are not dismissing your fear, but rely on Allah. Because Allah said, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ بَالِغُ أَمْرِهِ قَدْ جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدْرًا. Allah said, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ, whoever fear Allah, يَجْعَلُهُ مَخْرَجًا, he will always show a way for him. He will watch like a show a lona ebai. وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ, Allah will provide him where he does not know, where he does not expect. وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ, whoever rely on Allah, فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ, Allah will be sufficient for him. Inna Allah baligu amrihi. Allah has already decreed what he is going to do. He is capable of doing everything. قَدْ جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدْرًا. Allah has already put a measure on everything. What we are fearing, Allah is controlled. Allah knows. He is capable of that. Let's rely on our Allah. We wake up every day, we put our reliance into Allah, not into a human being. Let's control our disappointment. Let's understand that Allah is in knowledge of everything. He knows what he does. And what we think that might be bad for us may be the contrary. Allah said, وَمَنْ يَتَكِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مِنْ أَمْرِهِ يُسْرًا. Whoever fear Allah, Allah will make everything easy for him. Whoever fear Allah, Allah will make everything easy for him. Talking about reliance, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا رَبُّنَا اللَّهُ ثُمَّ اسْتَقَامُوا تَتَنَزَّلُ عَلَيْهِمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ أَلَّا تَخَافُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا. Allah said, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا رَبُّنَا اللَّهُ. Those who have proclaimed that Allah is our Lord, ثُمَّ اسْتَقَامُوا, and they said steadfast with that word, that تَنَزَّلُ عَلَيْهِمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ. Allah will descend his angels upon them. And they will be telling them, Allah takhafu, do not have fear, ema beru, wala tahzanu, ema banuje, do not be sad, ema beru, ema banuje. Allah said in another ayah, Inna alladhina qalu rabbuna Allah. Those who said, Allah is our Lord, that same ayah, different way. ثُمَّ اسْتَقَامُوا, and they stay steadfast on it. فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. They should not fear anything. وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. And they should not be sad. So let's put our reliance into Allah. Let's stay steadfast. Let's believe that Allah is capable of everything. What we are fearful of, Allah is in control. And anything that may happen to us is in control of Allah. Allah said, الَّذِينَ قَالَ لَهُمُ النَّاسُ إِنَّ النَّاسَ قَدْ جَمَعُوا لَكُمْ. To those who have been said to, إِنَّ النَّاسَ قَدْ جَمَعُوا لَكُمْ, they have planned for you to harm you, to deport you. فَاخْشَوْهُمْ, be fearful of them, they are coming for you. فَاخْشَوْهُمْ, be scared of them. Allah said, فَزَادَهُمْ إِيمَانًا. But while they are telling them, their iman is increasing, rather than be fear, but their iman is increasing. And they said, وَقَالُوا حَسْبُنَا اللَّهُ وَنِعْمَ الْوَكِيلُ. Allah is sufficient for us and is the one we rely upon. Now Allah said, مَا يَفْتَحِ اللَّهُ مَا يَفْتَحِ لِلنَّاسِ مِنْ رَحْمَةٍ فَلَا مُمْسِكَ لَهُ. If Allah has decreed that you will have your green card in 2025, no one can change that. A coming of a president will not change that. وَمَا يُمْسِكْ فَلَا مُرْسِلَ لَهُ. But if Allah said you will not get it, no one can change it. No one can change it. A human being cannot give it to you. So rather than focusing on the human being, focus on your Lord. وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ. Allah is the king of everything, is capable of everything, and is wise. And Prophet Muhammad said in one of his hadiths, he said, وَعَلَمْ أَنَّ الْأُمَّةَ لَوْ اجْتَمَعَتْ أَلَا أَنْ يَنْفَعُوكَ بِشَيْءٍ لَمْ يَنْفَعُوكَ بِشَيْءٍ إِلَّا مَا قَدْ كَتَبَهُ اللَّهُ لَكَ. If the entire human being even with the jinns, gather together to benefit you of something. If Allah has not decreed that, they will not benefit you with nothing except what Allah has already decreed for you. If they gather together and to hurt you, to harm you on any way, to deport you, they cannot deport you except Allah has already said that you're going to be deported. Allah has already decreed what's going to happen. Let's have our reliance on Allah. Only on Allah, not on a human being, not on a political party, but only on Allah, because He's capable of everything. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إن الله غفور رحيم. Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. We thank Allah. We give Him glory. He's the King of all kings. Again, rely on Allah. Have your reliance on Allah. Allah is capable of everything. And what we have said earlier, maybe the one we are fear of, maybe it's going to be the solution to our problem. Maybe it's going to be the solution. I'm telling you. Now, finally, let's be a little realistic. Allah said in the Quran, He said, وَتَزَوَّدُوا وَتَزَوَّدُوا وَتَزَوَّدُوا. Be prepared. Be prepared. In as much as we are talking about hope, about reliance in Allah, be prepared. Now, everything we have said earlier, it could mean to you that we meant that, okay, the 4 years will pass, maybe no one will be deported. It could also mean, in another way, that within those 4 years, maybe you'll be deported, but that deportation will be the best for you. You don't know. Let's be honest. We have people who left this country and they are doing so well back home. They are doing so well. We have people who did not put their feet in America, but they are well-to-do. Yes, we love this country. We want to remain here. But let's be realistic. Let's plan. Let's have a plan. Let's have a plan. That is the reality. I don't want to stand here and tell you, oh, you will never be deported. I'm not the government. إِنَّمَا تُوعَدُونَ لَآتٍ. That's what Quran said. Whatever is promised to you will come. Let's be honest, but be prepared. Maybe going back home will open a lot of doors for you. You will feel like, oh, this is all I've been losing since. You don't know. Wallahu ya'lamu wa antum la ta'lamun. There are people here, they have amassed wealth back home, but some of them don't see it because they are afraid of even leaving the country. What's the purpose of all that? There are people here, they know good and well that they will do well back home, but what is your fear? There are people, they have plans. They want to go to Umrah, they want to enjoy their life, but they can't do that because they are scared of leaving the country. Please put that fear aside and rely on your Lord. Understand that there could be better for you outside America. But when you don't take the risk, you bounce or you pay maybe it will just help them to get you to whatever your goodness is. You don't know. So be prepared, plan for the worst, and pray that Allah, wallahi, when you rely on Allah, this is not a joke. When you rely, try Allah, wallahi, when you rely on Him, you trust Him, you know He has the control of your affairs, wallahi, He's going to make everything easy for you, whether here in the United States or somewhere else in the world. But when you don't have that reliance, it's as if you are saying Allah is only in America. No, Allah is not only in America. The earth of Allah is vast. So think about that. And also, as a community, we have been living here for so long. So, what do we learn from living in the United States? When somebody has a plan, for example, going back home, many of our women do CNA and things like that. Okay, why can't you sit down and have that idea, say, okay, this is not developed where I come from. When I get deported, I go back home. I will develop an agency, develop a company. I have people here in the United States who have their parents back home. They need somebody to take care of their parents. Why can't I go back and open the agency and do well, advertise it? That's a way of making money. There are people here who have wealth. When you happen to go back home, be honest with them and say, okay, if you have business back home, I want to help you. We all wear all these big agbada every year, at least, for it. When you go back home, you can have that as business. Okay, in America, you make money. Let's think. Let's be proactive. What do we learn in this country that could benefit our country where we come from? Don't let's close our eyes and think everything has to be America, America, America. Let's have idea. If we have to sit down and think, help one another. But we can't just see as a community, come, pray Juma, we go home, we are benefiting one another in any way. That is really not the community, I'm sorry to say. We have to benefit one another. If you have an idea, I have an idea, let's sit down. I just came up with whatever that came to my mind. You also may have other ideas that I don't know, whereby you can make a lot of money out of it. And we can also help develop our country. May Allah make it easy for us. May Allah guide us. May Allah guide us. May Allah guide us. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد وعلى أصحابه الخلفاء الراشدين أبو بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي وعن التابعين والتابعين لهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداءك وأعداء دين الإسلام اللهم ولي أمورنا خيارنا ولا تولي أمورنا شرارنا وارفع مقتك وغضبك عنا ولا تسلط علينا بذنوبنا ما لا يخافك ولا يرحمنا يا رب العالمين ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون فاذكروا الله يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون.